Hops and Stocks podcast is presented by 100 Spoke Media Group. We encourage our listeners to drink responsibly. Please note, we are not financial advisors. We do not offer or provide financial advice.
I'm Spoke affiliated from the city.
Welcome back to the Hops and Stocks podcast, brought to you by 100 Spoke Media Group. This is episode. Nah, we're gonna keep it rolling. Nah, man, we're gonna keep it rolling. We ain't doing no edits. This is episode 37. We want to welcome the homie Oscar Nicholson. Oscar is a business analyst as well as a food truck owner. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
Appreciate it.
This is new to me. I'm a little nervous. So.
Man, you ain't nervous with us, man.
Excuse the nerves.
You was just singing a couple seconds ago, man.
That's right.
Yeah, we record all that too, so you know.
Yeah. I saw I was recording. I was performing.
But yeah, man, we're gonna kick it over to Oscar here in a minute. But you know what I'm saying, like we always do about this time, fresh off a punishment. You know what I'm saying?
He gets his spot back this week.
Yeah, man, fresh off a punishment, man. It's a little restriction we had to put him on last week. You know what I'm saying?
Tell Oscar about that since he's
what happened?
Man.
Man. So
let's get into this review real quick.
All right, I ain't gonna steal his thunder, man. We'll get into it.
You can watch episode 36, Oscar. You'll be able to tell real quick why he was on punishment.
Doug's on punishment.
Oh man, I was looking forward to seeing the big homie.
Yeah, he had a game. His daughter had softball or soccer
game? Yeah,
softball game or something. So yeah, Doug won't be with us this evening.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying, like we always do about this time, man. I'm gonna kick it over to Mr. What's in This Can. Beat up what you drinking on, brother.
Yeah, so let's talk about it, man.
The energy's right because he's back on it.
Man, yeah, I mean, the show was off last week without starting it.
Because of Doug, man. Shout out to Doug, bro. So I'm jumping out the window with this one today. It's KBS Founders. Really can't even say what's in this can, man, because you can clearly see it's in a bottle. This is a barrel age offering cinnamon, vanilla, cocoa.
Nice.
It's coming in at 12%. So it's got a little punch to it. It is.
What do they call that, B-Dub? Like KBS what?
It just says KBS cinnamon and vanilla.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it had a name or not.
It's a barrel aged.
Founders is the brewery. KBS is like the brand of that particular line. So you're gonna have there's a whole bunch of different types of KBSs.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I didn't go first last week is because I had some Michigan gear on. And enough said that this is from Michigan. So
so you're gonna find a way to disrespect the pot.
Shout out to Doug. Next Michigan fan, but we won't get into that.
It's always an ongoing battle, man. I like the back and forth.
Still represent my Trotwood glass. It's a dark
T-Wood, yes, sir.
Stout, so it's dark. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Off top, you get that coffee note, that chocolate. It's sweet, but not over sweet. It's a little pricey, man. It's for the 4-pack, it's $25 for the 4-pack.
25?
$25 for the 4-pack.
What is that, like 8 a bottle, 7 a bottle?
Yeah. Well, now it'll be 28. Maybe 6 or some change.
6 a bottle, yeah. My Trotwood math skills is off today.
6 and a quarter to be exact.
I cracked it like maybe a half hour ago, so the flavor is still coming out, but this is a pretty solid offering. I get this 4 and a quarter, maybe 4 and a half.
Is it hitting those notes that you read?
It's hitting the cinnamon, definitely the coffee and the chocolate. Those are the most forward flavors. But yeah, definitely it says what it's supposed to do. Yeah. KBS from Founders, cinnamon and vanilla cocoa, 4 and a quarter.
Pretty good stout in general compared to what you normally drink stout wise.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. With this being a barrel age, it's even better.
Is it boozy?
Definitely boozy.
Okay.
I'm getting all that booze all in my nose. Right?
What does boozy mean?
It got like that alcohol kind of flavor, like ethanol kind of a little bit.
Okay.
So when you get into them higher ABV barrel age stuff, a lot of them had that like a distinct alcohol note to them.
Okay, I know exactly what you mean. Like Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With this being 12%, it's packing a punch with it. So KBS from Founders, 4 1/4.
4
You got their
1/4.
blast.
All right, rolling over to me. I'm excited about the flavor, but sometimes, man, when you go this big, they don't nail it. So we're gonna see. I got Pipeworks Brewing out of Chicago.
Love the name.
This joint is called Traditionally Baked, and it is a pecan pie beer.
Oh, nice.
It's ale with vanilla, dark brown sugar, and natural pecan flavor. Also says blended with bourbon barrel and aged beer. 10% here. Let me see if I can get the can on the screen for you guys. You can see that slice of pie there.
Nice can work.
Yeah.
Like B-Dub said, I probably had this joint sitting out maybe 20 minutes. Pretty good smell. See if it nails the notes, man.
Everybody double digits on the ABV so far.
Oh man, I feel like I can be the eyeball then.
Nah,
pretty good, man. I don't know if I'm tasting pecan pie, but let me go back on the notes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
It's suspect ingredient work.
Yeah, man. It's just, standard barrel aged beer, man. It tastes like nothing special, man.
So
3.75. I'm out.
Oh,
I don't even want to talk about it no more, man.
Damn.
That's sus for age.
It ain't sus, but it, like I told you, man, I was excited by the name, but
it ain't living
it's definitely not a slice of pecan pie at all, man.
Yeah, I can dig it.
At least not the kind I'm used to.
How much you pay for it?
Shit, that's a good question, B-Dub. I ain't even pay attention. I think 5, 6, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wealth. I ain't pay attention. Wealth.
It's nothing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What I need to look at the price tag for.
Man.
If it's in the beer spot, I can afford it.
Pecan pie bust down, it's not my thing.
That's my cut, man.
Watch by the end of the episode, I'll be like, damn, this shit is tight.
That's how it goes.
All right, E, what you sipping on?
So I'm down here in Tampa, Florida. So International E is now stateside
Domestic.
E. Yeah,
okay, last time I saw you were in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I was in Cabo for a month. You know what I'm saying? So now, now I'm down here in Tampa. So when in Tampa, drink Florida beer. So I'm drinking this, it's called Crooked Thumb.
Yeah, okay.
They're out of Safety Harbor, Florida. And that's on the West Side Peninsula. This is an IPA. It's called Shade Tree. 7.5 on the ABV. Let's see.
Are you laughing at Shade Tree?
Shade Tree. They actually have the notes on here, so we're gonna. And I can tell you they ain't hitting on none of these, but I'll read them. So it says a modern West Coast style IPA packed with big hop flavors, spicy mango, and pine aromatics. So let me sip this joint. I didn't get mango at all.
Is it spicy? They said spicy mango.
Is it an IPA? What is it again?
It's an IPA. I'm not getting mango at all, but it's not a bad brew. It's hitting all those classic IPA high IBU notes. Like it's really hoppy. So they was correct on the big hop flavors, and that might be why you're not getting that mango taste because it's being dominated by the hops.
Was it just me or was E lagging a little bit?
No,
you said I was lagging.
We good.
Oh, okay. Like I said, it's a classic IPA. The aftertaste is really, really bitter though. So that's kind of throwing me a little bit. I'm gonna get this 375. Actually, I've been sitting here drinking out the can the entire time, and I got this glass right here. You know, it's not hazy or nothing like that. It's just your basic golden IPA. Once again, 375. It's just a basic IPA, nothing to write home about.
It's a high IBU.
I didn't look, and it's not on the glass. I mean, on the can work, but I don't doubt that this is high IBU because it's really bitter on the finish.
Probably like 8.
Yeah, it's bitter on the finish. Actually, the warmer this gets, you're starting to get a little bit more fruit flavor. But yeah, it's not my favorite. I probably won't revisit this one.
What was the grade you gave, Eddie?
375.
Damn, 2 375s.
Yeah, this is we got to do better.
I'm about to go up to a 4.5, man.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about them stouts, man. It's like once they start creeping up to close to an hour in the glass, that's when you really get the fire.
It's fire.
Yeah.
So you saying I need to crack as soon as I get home from work?
Let that joint just sit.
Man.
Seriously, a lot of my stouts, man, like I don't even put them in the refrigerator. Like I just drink it straight out of the cupboard.
I did that one time and it was just too hard to drink, man. I was like, you know what? Since he says let them warm up, I'm just not gonna even refrigerate.
Yeah, y'all alone on that. I got to refrigerate, dog.
You need a little temperature on stouts. Like I don't know, I think it's 55 or something like that. But you need a little temperature, but you don't need that much.
Yeah, because I mean, towards the end of the podcast, when whatever we sipping, it's lukewarm.
I just can't. I can't purchase and just bareback a beer. I can't do that, man.
What did you say to the beer?
You gonna bareback the beer?
What type of term is that?
I just can't go raw beer like that. Man.
I've never heard that in the beer community.
Get some of that refrigerated protection.
Yeah,
right.
I need some protection, man. Y'all just over here the 70s style, just cracking on.
But yeah, man, that's like I said, man. We wrapping up the beer segment. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I got one.
What up?
You got
one?
Yeah. You got one? Go ahead, man. Once again, let's introduce Oscar to the pod.
I had to, when in Rome, I don't have the expertise that you all have, but I'm not familiar. I don't know how many you've reviewed, but I got some Great Lakes from Bayside of Cleveland.
Yeah, I think they made the pod, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So I did. I got the variety pack. So I have. I've been sipping on the.
Hold on. Is this a historic moment?
Yeah, we got a double. We got a double.
Yeah, we got a double review at the same time. We've had people do two before, but never at the same time.
No.
That's love. That's love.
No, you got four.
I saw
so let me get this straight. You're about to review 4 beers for us.
Well, I'm not gonna review. I'm gonna review 2, but I got a variety pack and it was 4 in there, and these are the 2 I chose to open up because they had the higher alcohol by volume. But and also, pretty much. I should have got the Gold Lager looks good too. I might crack it. It's possible.
Hey.
I might crack it.
Hey,
but
whatever you feel, man. Whatever.
I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I do enjoy a beer. It's real filling. So I usually, if I'm drinking alcohol, I opt for hard liquor, but I do enjoy beer. This is the Elliot Ness Amber Lager. So this one is 6.1 alcohol by volume and 27 IBUs. It's according to the website, it's supposed to be like almost untouchably smooth arm with lightly toasted malts and noble hops. Paired with smoked meats, hearty breads, a classy fedora. It won World Beer Championships 12 times since '95. It's an amber lager, but it kind of tastes like IPA, although it's significantly lower than the IPA I'm drinking, which is a Commodore Perry IPA, and it's 70 IBU and 7.7 ABV. But that's a lot stronger. That actually tastes like an IPA. That has that strong bitter taste. But I actually enjoy that. The Elliot Ness is not as bitter, not as, I guess, hoppy, you will call it. Yeah. But it does, even though it's an amber lager, it tastes a lot like IPA. It tastes a lot like the other one I'm drinking over here. So the Edmund Fitzgerald is a porter. I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm assuming it's like I don't know what's a porter like
Stout light,
Yeah,
Yeah.
light stout.
Water that,
Baby-
yeah, it's stout light.
baby stout.
okay.
Infant-
Would that be
infant
like
stout.
Blue Moon? Is that a porter? No, that's a
Nah, that's a
It's a
wheat.
Belgian.
that's a wheat ale.
Yeah.
All right, so then we have a classic gold lager, which is the Dortmunder. So these you can probably pound. These is 30 IBU and 5.8 ABV.
Yeah, those are good house beers right there, boy. You could
Yeah.
always look for those. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Good entertaining beers. Watch the game with beers.
Yeah.
So you got a
Uh,
4-pack, and all of those came in the 4-pack.
Yeah, yeah. So it came.
That's not a
it's-
bad
it's
buy, man.
12 pack,
Oh,
17.99.
12. Okay.
Yeah, 4 of each. I'm sorry, 3 of each.
3 of each. Yeah, I got you.
And then also Great Lakes makes a Christmas ale that comes out around November, I believe, and lasts throughout the Christmas season. And that's a little higher. It's actually a lot higher. And it has more of a wheat flavor, almost spicy a little bit. You know, kind of a spicy flavor, kind of like maybe a little bit of like cinnamon notes, kind of a little bit.
Yeah, probably cinnamon.
Yeah. But that's a nice one to sip around the holidays.
I
Trying to see if they have it on the website, but they don't. They don't have the details of that one on the
I
website.
forgot to mention on my review, it has vanilla extract on here, man. Shout out.
Hey, Oscar, what would you so on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate those two, with 5 being the highest?
The Commodore Perry, I would rate it based on the comparison to other IPAs that I've had, and I would give it. Hold on a second. Let me give it. I would give it a 4. I would give it a 4. I do enjoy it. It's a nice IPA. Elliot Ness, I would probably give Elliot Ness. I would give that a 4 as well, because it's full flavor. You know, nice body to it. You know, you have to be a beer drinker to enjoy it. But I would definitely give it a 4. I wouldn't give it any less than a 4. I like it. I wouldn't give it a 5, but I would definitely give it a strong 4.
Solid.
Dig it.
Nice
It's a nice review.
brew review, first in history.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of firsts on this pod.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
it's a special first coming up for y'all.
maybe I got some flavors. Got flavors. This isn't real. This is just for research purposes. These are called Old Duels.
Old dudes.
You can dig it, man. So once again, man, welcome to the podcast. Like I said, Oscar Nicholson, business analyst, as well as food truck owner.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So give us a little bit of information about your background, man.
My background, well, from born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Went to UC. I live in Cincinnati now, because I went to UC and moved back and forth a few times, back and forth from Cleveland to Cincinnati, and now I'm here. I've been an internal auditor. That's my professional background, internal audit, since around 2013. And most recently, my last internal audit position was with Parking Company of America here in Cincinnati. Unfortunately, I was laid off during the pandemic, or due to the pandemic in March of 2020. And at that point, we kind of stepped up the food truck game, the food truck business, to make ends meet, and shout out to Dayton. My business is based in Dayton. My younger brother lives in Dayton, and he keeps it in his house because his yard is bigger and his driveway's bigger. So we keep it at his house, and that's where the events are.
Good explanation why.
Yeah. So, we have a food truck business called KC&J Hawaiian Shaved Ice. And we offer, our primary item that we offer is shaved ice, variety of flavors. And it's not a snow cone. Snow cones are like crushed ice. Yeah. Our shaved ice, we use an actual shaver, the same things that they use in Hawaii. That's not the hand, it's not hand, they don't do it by hand like they do we don't do it by hand like they do it there, but we use an authentic shaver, electric shaver, and it makes the shave ice like snow. And we flavor it with with flavors that we have, a variety of flavors, fruit flavors, and We make big snowballs, big soft snowballs that melt in your mouth and they're delicious. And we also they're phenomenal.
Great. Hey, it's a great sales job right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And we also make homemade lemonade.
Yeah.
And just 4 ingredients: sugar, water, lemon. 3 ingredients: sugar, water, lemon. That's it. Sugar, water, and squeezed lemon. So we make homemade lemonade. And as of, I guess it was 2020. Yeah, as of 2020, we started making funnel cakes. We incorporated funnel cakes.
Oh,
So we make funnel cakes as well. We fry funnel cakes on our own. We have a homemade mixture that we make, and we drop funnel cakes outside the food truck. And then we have hot dog, different ancillary items like hot dogs. We use beef, Nathan's beef hot dogs. We'll have like Doritos and Grippos and things like that to go with that, and waters and soft drinks. Recently, we've been working with the school in Dayton, and on a monthly basis, we'll do, because Shave Ice is a seasonal business. So our business is from late April to mid October, typically. As long as it's weather specific, whether it's conditional on the weather. So we've created some relationships where we work with the school, and they have a monthly incentive program for students, and they'll have us create something for the monthly incentive program. So we've done Shave Ice for them. We've done funnel cakes. We've done hot chocolate. We've done cupcakes. We've done cookies. We've done walking tacos, hot dogs and popcorn. Just a variety of things we've done. Kind of stepping outside of our box. And some of these items might even make it onto the food truck if it's lucrative and if it makes sense. So that's where we're at now. And my day job, I do work as an analyst, as a business analyst right now.
How many people does it take to operate a food truck? Like, if you used to go out, hit the street, it take a minimum of 2 people, one person?
For us, it depends on what we have. So if we're just doing shaved ice and lemonade, it really can technically just be one person. It's easier with 2 because you're wearing gloves, and if you're taking money, you don't want to use your gloves for the money. So that you'll go, if it's just one person, you'll go through a lot of gloves. You know what I mean? But so it's easier to do 2 people. The second person can help the first person. You can switch off. One person makes the product, one person collects the money, or vice versa, or one person helps the other person with the other things around the truck. But now that we have the funnel cakes, we do that outside of the truck in a deep fryer. So we set up a table in a tent, and we do that outside of it with a deep fryer. So it takes about 4 people in that situation, because you have toppings. You have your whipped cream and your powdered sugar and your sauces and your syrups and things like that. So in that situation, it takes about 4 people. It takes about 4 people comfortably. It could be 3, but comfortably, to have a good, good efficient operation, about 4 people.
So did you have a culinary background, or how did you get into the food truck industry?
No, so we actually got our first one. We have one in Cleveland also that my uncle runs. So I lived in Cleveland until one of my instances in Cleveland was until 2018. So in 2015, we got that first one. And we just did Shave Ice and Lemonade on that one. It kind of incorporated hot dogs later on and picked up events. But so the way we got into the business, KC&J stands for Keith, Cookie, and Johnny. Cookie is my mom, and Keith and Johnny are my uncles, my mom's brothers. So it's a family business. So when my mom was young, her grandfather would take her to a place. My mom's from Steubenville, Ohio. Yeah. So when she was young, her grandfather would take her to a place that sold authentic Hawaiian shaved ice. And they probably did it by hand, they probably scraped an ice block or whatever. But they would flavor it, and she always liked it. And now my mom lives in Fishers, Indiana, and there's a stand, like a brick and mortar shop that sold shaved ice there. So when I have 2 daughters that would go there for, and spend time with her off and on in the summer, she would take my daughters to those places, or to that place, and sell them shaved and buy them shaved ice. And she liked it, and they liked it. And she talked to the owner, and, he kind of told her about the numbers, and, told her about how lucrative it could potentially be. He told her how he put his daughters through college with his summer shaved ice money. And she figured, they were close to retirement age. They're retired now, but they were close to retirement age, and everything. Like, why not? Let's do it. So they put their money together, and they bought one in Cleveland. And me and my uncle pretty much did most of the events, and my mom and another uncle will come down and help out. But then in 2019, we bought a second one. We found one on eBay and drove down to Southern Georgia and picked it up and brought it back. And that one is for Dayton events. So now we do events and festivals around Dayton. So to answer your question, no, I don't have a culinary background. My mom's a phenomenal cook, but this is really a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
It's a lot of learning the machines, learning how things work, documenting statistics. How many shave ice cones can you get out of a block? How many can you get out of a bottle of the syrup that you use? Yeah. A lot of it's a lot of work to do inventory, things like that. It's one thing that when we do events, a lot of people say, wow, man, this is cool. I could do this. I think I could do this. And anybody could. You're right. They're right. They could. But it's a lot harder than it looks because there's so many different things involved. You got to be clean. You got to make sure that you have all the licensing. You got to make sure that you have the inventory. You got to make sure that you prepare for multiple events. You have to make sure that you have the money for events up front. A lot of these events that we participate in festivals and things like that, we have to pay anywhere from $50 to $300 to register or to be a part of this thing, the event. So you got to have the upfront capital. You're making money back definitely, but you got to have money up front. Food trucks aren't cheap. We got lucky, and I negotiated a good deal for the one we have in Dayton, but they're typically not cheap. They can go anywhere from $5,000 to $40,000. Ours is a nice size trailer. I want to say it's like 7 foot by 11 foot, something like that. Trailer that we pull with an SUV. My brother has a Yukon, so we pull it with his SUV. So that's a kind of a brief history of how we got to where we're at now. And like I said, it's seasonal, but it's very lucrative if you have a place to set up and if you have if you have access to events. And that's another thing. You have to be very diligent and very proactive when it comes to events and making these relationships and developing relationships, because a lot of the events that take place in the summer, registration opens in like February and March, and they might sell out pretty immediately because everybody wants to get in and everybody knows that, everybody who has a food truck knows that this is a lucrative venture. Yeah. So they want to make sure they do as many events as possible. So we got lucky this year. This is 2022. So we got this in 2019. We didn't really do any events in 2019. We set up in like Walmart parking lots here and there. And then 2020, we got a little more savvy. And we actually met somebody in Dayton who has a entrepreneur marketplace. So we set up out, and she throws a lot of events. So we set up out. She's been a blessing to us to this day, and we set up at a lot of her events. And we set up at her marketplace. We've done that before. And fast forward to this year, we've already registered for events like we have a couple events each month. So we're doing pretty good so far. And another thing is, each event we go to, somebody will book us or ask us, I pass out my business card and we get calls about different, church events and charity, different, school events and all kind of things. So the more we work, the more we network, the more opportunities we come across.
Yeah.
So Oscar, talk about I guess the market for shaved ice. I don't know. When I was growing up, it didn't seem like that was a big thing, but I noticed with my kids, like you said, that the school events are huge. Mm-hmm. Like my son, if I ain't gonna shout out the competitor, but my son will get hyped when it's, they're coming to his school that day.
Yeah, Cone Ice, yeah. I know all about it.
Yeah, Cone Ice. So he'll make sure he has his cup and all of that. Yeah. And I think through them I've noticed, shave ices everywhere. Like he plays flag football and soccer. They'll be posted up, at the end of the tournaments or whatever. Do you do like sporting events too?
Open to it. I'm open to do anything. Any event, that they'll have us, I'm open to do. That's the kind of thing we learn as time goes on. And you don't always immediately think of these things and think, last year a lot of people told me about different little league baseball practices and baseball games and football games and practices and things like that 2 a days, and it makes me think like, wow, so many possibilities. If you're if you're ambitious and enterprising, and if you're open-minded, so many opportunities. So yeah, absolutely, we'll do stuff like that. And shout out to Kona Ice, because their visibility and the fact that they have so many franchises, that has shined a light on Shave Ice and made it, it's like free publicity for us, because it creates an awareness of Shave Ice, of the existence of Shave Ice and how good and refreshing it is. And then ours is better. So it makes it even that much better. You know what I'm saying?
So Shaved
Yeah,
Ice came first. Shaved Ice came first before the little snow cone things. Is that the originator? That the OG Shaved Ice? Is that how they originally started making them? Off the block?
Well, as far as I know, they in Hawaii, like to this day in Hawaii, they like take a blade and shave, like make snow off the ice. They have a technique where they just shave it real fast and just get you a pile of snow. But like I said, Kona Ice is more like snow cones, because it's more chippy and crushed ice. No shade or disrespect, but
it's absolutely shade. It's absolutely shade.
It's just an honest. I'm an honest consumer. This is a consumer review. I've patronized them before, and it doesn't. Their syrup doesn't have the flavor that I would like, the flavor that I'm looking for, or the flavor that we have. And their ice is chips. It's like crushed ice that you'll get out your refrigerator instead of actual snow that melts in your mouth. We make snow that melts in your mouth.
Okay. People don't know that.
No, man.
This food truck
is snowman.
It's like
Oscar
$1 billion business, man. This industry is like $1 billion business, man.
It is, especially if you look at because we get a lot of our materials from a particular vendor, and they tell you everything. They break everything down. They tell you how to make the syrup. They tell you what machines you need to buy. They sell the machines. I mean, they tell you A to Z what to do.
And it seems like y'all make a profit versus a restaurant more faster. Y'all can turn a profit faster because one, y'all not stuck in one location. Y'all can get mobile.
Right. Y'all not paying the rent.
Yeah, y'all ain't paying no high rent.
Right.
Y'all can, go to where the people are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like if the location is bad and you set up a restaurant, you stuck there, you're gonna live and die by that location.
That's right.
Y'all can just get skirty real quick.
That's right. Because if you're in a brick and mortar standalone place, if the area gets bad, if it gets opposite gentrification, you know what I'm saying? Then you're screwed. But okay. So we're mobile. We can go wherever. We can pull up at events. When I was working in Cleveland, I even negotiated with the HR department at my job and had my uncle pull up and sell some shave ice on a lunch break. So that was pretty cool.
So,
what about the Brown games? You put up the Cleveland?
No, but I did think about doing some tailgating here, like pulling up a tailgate here in Cincinnati, because I have a relationship with some people, with the owners of the parking lots down there, the Park Place lots. So I did communicate with them about selling shave ice around tailgating time for the preseason games when it's still hot, and also maybe setting up at some parking lots for Jazz Fest, because they have a food truck set up at Jazz Fest, but it's like on like 1,200 or 1,100. Last time I looked, when they had them, it was a lot. And that's quite a bit of shave ice for $5-6 a piece to make your money back in order to start making a profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you ever considered, obviously we talk craft beer here, and you know what I'm saying, in exploring a lot of breweries, a lot of them partner with a bunch of different food trucks. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of breweries don't offer food because they don't have kitchens. Right. So I don't know if that'd be an outlet for you.
I'd love it. We would make, I was thinking about that. If we did more food outside of just hot dogs and chips, we would do fries, since we already have the deep fryer. We already deal with the oils and things like that. We get a separate deep fryer, and we would do fries, because that kind of goes along with that carnival feel, that carnival appeal with shave ice and the funnel cakes and things like that. So fries and chicken wings. Why not? Everybody loves chicken wings.
Oh yeah. I
mean, chicken wings, fries. You got the drink. You got the lemonade. That's phenomenal. So I would definitely be open to doing something like that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like when we went to Beer Fest in Nashville, Brew Fest, Beer Fest or Brew Fest?
Brewfest.
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 They had food trucks out there, and it wasn't like, you know, the basic carnival food. They had like gourmet food
Yeah,
trucks.
it was some fancy
Yeah,
joints.
yeah. I mean, people get. There's a place here called Funnel Cake Island over. I think it's Avondale here in Cincinnati, and I haven't been there, but I looked at their website just for some market research, and they make like elaborate funnel cakes. I mean, with fruity pebbles and all kinds of.
I mean,
just all kind of stuff.
That's
So I was
popping
thinking,
up
like,
in the
man,
Natty for whatever reason. The funnel cake is kind of jumping off down here.
Yeah, so I was thinking about like, hey, I might, incorporate some of that. Matter of fact, for our last event, I bought some fruity pebbles just to see, hey, some fruity pebbles in yours too. But you have to do a lot more branding when it comes to doing extra things like that. Because right now we typically just do we're very traditional. So we do the funnel cake, golden brown fresh fried funnel cake with we offer powdered sugar, strawberries, like a strawberry topping, like strawberry syrup, caramel syrup, chocolate syrup, and whipped cream. And that's pretty much it. And sprinkles, if you want something like that. But we haven't gone outside of that box. We keep it pretty traditional, get you a nice standard sturdy funnel cake.
Yeah. Now, you ain't out here like a big worm and taking little kids' money, man, keeping the chili Cheetos fries.
It ain't free.
So you mentioned
No, we look out though. We look out. I think anybody who's come to events that we've been at and we participated in, if like a lot of times we make we have this big I have one here. We make our shave ice cone. It comes in a plastic holder, and it's a big ball on top of a plastic holder, and the bottom is like a cylinder, but it comes down to a point, and we fill up the bottom, of course, with the shave ice as well. But sometimes that ball falls over. Little kids, they tip things over, just like when they get ice cream falls or whatever. We'll hook them up. I'm not gonna charge you a second time for getting another one if you dropped it. It happens. You know what I mean? So we look out for people. We're very. Anybody who comes to our events know that we're very nice, and we're for the people. So we look.
So you had mentioned branding, which
Yes.
got me starting to think about like your marketing. So what's your guys' marketing approach? Is it, because I know food trucks, a lot of food trucks get a huge following on social media and people just kind of track them through their socials.
You really?
We don't have, we have, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress because, and that's another thing about embarking on this business. A lot of times you don't think about the branding part. You just think about making a product that people want, a quality product that people will enjoy. But when you want to take your business to the next level, you have to brand. That's a inevitable part of it. You have to create some kind of a brand in order to grow and progress. So we do have a Facebook page. We do have an Instagram page. The Instagram page, it's just been established. It doesn't have any pictures on it yet. Facebook page has been used so far in the previous years to advertise events and just to create awareness. I had some shirts made. So we have a logo and a brand on our t-shirts and things like that. I got some hats made or whatever. And I'm probably going to continue to, that's a continuous thing. You want to continue to get more and more stuff made just to create an awareness and a recognition of your logo. And we're going to get our truck wrapped and kind of update the look of that over time. So branding is extremely important. It's imperative. It's imperative that you create a brand and continuously keep your brand up to date and keep your brand relevant. We are in I got a website being made right now. I was hoping it'd be out by now, but it'll be out definitely. It'll be finished probably by May. I have a company making it, and they've already sent it back to me a couple of times, and I had to give them a couple of corrections to make. It's an overseas company, so we're having a language barrier. They're based out of Denmark, I believe, or maybe Germany, somewhere. It looks great, but there's a couple of things I want to tweak and change and eliminate and update. So I've asked them to do the same thing like 4 times, and they keep coming back to me like, Mr. Oscar, your day will become much better now. Please take a look and tell me what you think. I'd be like, hey, refer to the last email because I ain't do what I said in the last email.
Correct.
That should be, hopefully it'll be up and running by May, and I'll push and advertise that too.
What
Yes.
what type of being an entrepreneur, what kind of like red tape have you ran into to even get in the industry? I mean, I know you just didn't like sign some papers and then you just hit the road running. Like, what type of roadblocks have you come across?
Scheduling. Just because you have this entity doesn't mean that it's automatically going to make money. You have to actually, like I said earlier, you have to find events or find a place to set up. Find a place that's safe and that's going to be profitable and it's going to have the foot traffic. Red tape. There's more red tape in insurance, things like that. All the things you have to, all the expenditures you have to make to make sure that you are covered. Whether it's insurance or licensing, you have to get inspected. You have to pass inspections. Our generator, because we operate off of a generator, because we have a lot of things that use electricity on there. We have our shaver is electric, you have a microwave on there. We have an air fryer. We have a deep freezer on there. Popcorn machine. That's another thing we have, popcorn. We have a popcorn machine on there. So we have, we need electricity on there. So our generator runs off of propane and also gasoline. So, you might run out of gas, you might run out of propane, you got to know where to get that from. Who knows where to get that from? You know what I mean? Normally, like before I did this, I didn't know anything about propane or where to get it from. What else? Like I said, licensing, business licenses, food licenses. You're sometimes, like we ran into an issue before last year where everything was fine. And then we noticed in the sink, the water didn't work. You turn the water on and the water didn't come on. It's like, oh man, now I got to find somebody who knows how to fix food trucks or how to, or do our own research and work and try to figure out how to do that. Eventually you have to find, your food truck can eventually fall apart. Your shelving might come apart and you have to find somebody to redo the insides. You have to find somebody who has the specific experience in working in food trucks. So a lot of things that happen, just normal wear and tear, normal depreciation. That thing happens, but also, a lot of licensing, which is very costly. My brother has to get, or we have to get commercial insurance for his vehicle, for his truck. We have to get an additional insurance, not just the standard liability or, full coverage or whatever. You have to get like a special kind of insurance, which is more expensive. Yeah. So that kind of thing.
Hey. So with the food license, could you then like transfer that to like a brick and mortar restaurant if you wanted to?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would think so. I don't know, because that's a separate structure. So that structure will have to get inspected as well. Because, they expect us to make sure we're clean and straight and make sure our water works and our hot water works. But that will probably they'll probably have to do an additional, you might be able to, but you have to do additional work and additional steps in order to be in compliance in that way.
I never thought about this, but where do you get water from? Do you have a tank somewhere on the truck?
We have a tank. Yeah, we have a tank. We have a tank, and then there's a heater on there, so we have hot and cold and everything.
Gotcha.
So we have to because we wash dishes and things like that on there, so we have to continuously replenish the water.
A lot, man.
And then here's another thing. You think about, okay, you set it down, and you have your event on a Saturday. You come back to the crib exhausted. You lock it up and everything. You put everything away. Well, the next day or 2 days later, because it's 80 degrees outside and there's a whole bunch of everything sweats and there's a whole bunch of condensation. So you go on there the next day, you see like mold spores on the floor and things like that. You know what I mean? But constantly clean. You got to constantly cleaning, constantly disinfect. Just because it's natural. These things naturally happen. Sometimes I might see an ant on the floor and I'm like, oh man, I can't deal with it. We can't have insects in here. You know what I mean? Right. But hey, our people are inspectors. You feel me? If anything ain't right, we ain't having it. So we got to make sure that everything is pristine. You can't have nothing and nothing, no mistakes. Because
I'd rather see an ant than the ones with the R word.
Nah, we ain't having that.
Yeah, nobody likes those R's, man.
No, nobody likes them. Nobody. There's no use for them. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to worry about, a lot to do. but it's fun and it's rewarding, and people are so cool. I don't really, I'm a Clevelander from Cleveland. I lived in Cincinnati. I just knew people from Dayton. I didn't know much about Dayton, but now I feel embraced by the Dayton community. I love Dayton. I much respect and much love for Dayton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey man, you gotta let us know when the food truck is out, man. I'll definitely pull up on y'all.
For sure. As a matter of fact, we have an event on June 20th. Well, we have an event on May 15th. May 15th, this event called the Fashion Meets Food Truck Rally. So it's a food truck event. That's gonna be, let me see, where's that gonna be at?
You said May 15th?
Yep. That's gonna be the first big one of the season. I'll pull up, I have an event calendar. Let me pull it up real quick.
Is it gonna be at UD or something?
No, it's gonna be, let me tell you in just a second. This is gonna be
Ness.
Oregon District?
Masonic Temple.
Okay.
Masonic Temple. A lot of times on Friday nights, we set up in Xenia at Xenia Station. We have a food truck event. It's called a Xenia Food Truck Rally, something like that, and that's from 4 to 8 on Friday nights. So we're going to be there. We have about 12 dates from now until October. We have about 12 dates. So
it's a brewery that I go to around the corner called Elmatic, and they don't have a kitchen, so their main source for feeding the patrons is a food truck. They just right in the parking lot, and people just come to the food truck.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. And another, I don't know if people call it red tape, but another thing to worry about is safety. We collect cash, and we take cash and card and Cash App, and I gotta keep my heat on the hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even hip, because you never know.
I've seen stories like that where people run up on the food truck because, like you said, there's a lot of cash transference on there, man. It's not like y'all can deposit it immediately.
Right. And that, in certain situations, like if we set up every day somewhere, I would give strong consideration to just doing card transactions, or Cash App or Zelle or something like that, because I don't want people to know that we have cash.
Would you have any hesitancy in doing like clubs, like when a club let out? Because that would be that's kind of sus. Like
I thought about it just because I've seen it before. You always see the hot dog guy out there. The older foreign guy with no fear out there slanging pulling the sausages out the water. Pulling the sausages out the water and throwing some chips next to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Straight meat.
Good luck with that in Dayton, man. Good luck with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think y'all let street meat slide, man.
Nah, I heard it.
I mean, there's so much other stuff going on, man. I just don't want Oscar to get jammed up, man, in my city.
Yeah, I don't either. And trust me, man, right on my hip.
Yes,
right on my hip.
Because they come out the club, they be full of that, that alcohol and
that fake courage.
Yeah. I'll take a funnel cake and I'll take that cash too.
Yeah. Give me everything. Give me that air fryer.
Man, take your time. Make it right for me.
Matter of fact, drop some wings in the fryer.
I said a double burger with cheese.
You say drop the wings.
Yeah, drop the wings and then give me the flyer.
Oh man, now it's gonna be like 5-10 minutes. That's cool.
Yeah, they'll wait on you. They'll wait on you.
Yeah,
you better make it right.
Robbing you, like you still gonna get robbed.
Make it right though.
Hey, but I'm telling you, after the club, you see that food truck. That's like heaven, dog.
Man,
yeah,
man. Yeah, I have bashed so many euros outside of the club, man. Like,
man. And then think about I don't know if I want to mention this, but. Oh, does dude wash his hands? I don't know. He's part of a different culture, but guess what? It'd be good.
Man, you just hope that whatever heat he's cooking at is enough to cook the germs,
cook
man.
The antibiotics, the bacteria out, man.
Hey,
so it's hot enough in there.
Hey, I don't know if you remember, but we was in Columbus, man, at the little Euro food truck, man, and you was ahead of us. And you got your joint first.
Yeah.
Behind you, dog. You killed yours so fast and got right back in line behind us.
Hey, it'd be the truth.
He went for a round two.
Oh man, it was a double up, man. I'm telling you, downtown Columbus. I don't, like I said, this is many moons ago, so I don't know if the dude even still down there. But they had the fire Euros like right out of town. I can't remember if it was Red Zone or wherever, but one of them clubs downtown, man. Yeah, I remember that. I was while people was like checking out, I was eating, and then like you said, double back for the second one.
Man,
I was talking about the street meet. I was envisioning Columbus, envisioning my experiences in Columbus.
Mhm.
What's crazy though, man, is I don't think y'all, and you know, obviously the people that ain't watching can't see it, but I think Oscar is putting something together over there. I don't know if y'all will notice.
You can hear the grinding.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey,
in
man.
celebration of 420, our man Oscar is, prepping a little bit of a treat. So
Today is the day.
Oscar, I was just gonna say, since you are preparing what you're preparing, let's talk about the part of your bio that mentioned you were an aficionado.
Yeah.
An aficionado. I don't necessarily partake, but I do respect it, and I'm an advocate. Does anybody know why marijuana is illegal?
Because they can't tax it.
They can't tax it.
Well, that's one thing, but it has a long history. It has a short answer, short one-word answer: racism. And not to play the race card, as the people on Facebook tell me when I post comments. It's actually rooted in racism. And what was it? I guess 1910, when Mexicans were coming over here, Mexicans smoked marijuana. Mm-hmm. And I guess what was the Mexican Revolution around that time?
Yeah.
I don't know who, I'm assuming, no shade, I'm assuming white males looked at them and had an issue with them. Historically, white males don't like people who are different, who aren't them. And they felt like the idea of marijuana started to circulate, that they felt it gave the immigrants a lust for blood, so to speak. And they even exclusively used the word marijuana to make it sound foreign, make it sound Mexican. And it kind of, that was in America, that's what initially gave it a negative connotation or a stigma. But fast forward to like the 30s. Y'all heard of Harry Anslinger? Harry Anslinger was like a drug czar, and I think he was famous initially. He got a lot of support initially because he was against the mafia gambling, and he cracked down on the mafia in New York, and he threw a lot of their gambling machines and stuff like that in the river, and he made a big spectacle of it. And people liked him. The New Yorkers liked him because they felt like he was hard on crime. Well, he was a head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, and he was a super racist. And he consulted with scientists about, the effects of marijuana. And even though most of the scientists said it was harmless, he focused on the ones that didn't. And they told, they pretty much, he also, because it was like the DEA and all the drug enforcement entities was all new. So he needed something to focus on. He needed a purpose, pretty much. So he focused on marijuana. I'm just looking up some notes here. So Harry Anslinger claimed that the majority of pot smokers were minorities, African Americans, Mexicans, and they felt like the marijuana had a negative effect on these degenerate races. And he believed that it caused these races to be violent, and it caused them to be insane. And here's a quote that I found. He said, "Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as," and
there you have it.
Yeah. and they felt like it caused people to go crazy and play the devil's music, aka jazz. And it felt like they felt like it caused white women to have sex with black men, or black men to rape white women. That's what marijuana did. So and that plus news media plus the movie there's a movie Reefer Madness that came out like 35, 36, something like that. It created propaganda, and it created the stigma and strengthened the stigma amongst certain people against marijuana. And then, even though, so that led to the passing of the Marijuana Tax Act in 1937. So that pretty much prohibited marijuana. But I think it was this 69. In 69, they declared the Marijuana Tax Act of 37 unconstitutional, but they still made it a Schedule I drug, just like cocaine or heroin. So they feel like, I guess they felt like that was constitutional. they felt like that his law wasn't constitutional, but they still wanted to make it illegal federally, and that's what they did. So basically, the origin of the prohibition, marijuana prohibition, is based off of racism and false reports and false beliefs.
There's no way in hell marijuana is on the same level as cocaine and heroin.
and I've never raped any white women. So
yeah.
let's clarify. Anyway,
yeah.
Everybody in this room can say that statement right there.
And they never raped me. And
I mean, truthfully, well, I can't speak to heroin and cocaine.
Yeah, I'm like, watch it be the.
I was about to say, where are we going, man? Where are we going?
I'm talking about as I'm talking about recreational versus medicinal purposes. Marijuana has medicinal purposes. I can't speak for heroin and cocaine because I've never.
They used to use cocaine as a numbing agent back in the day.
Mm-hmm. You watch Snowfall?
Yeah.
It's trash this season, though, man.
Yeah. You remember when dude got shot? Teddy got shot, and he went in his trunk, got a brick, and threw it on his wound. Yeah. So that speaks to what you said, Eric. That I guess that does. I was wondering, like, what is? It must be a numbing thing. That's what I thought when he did that. So that makes sense. And I guess heroin has medicinal properties because that's the opioids. Pain relief, pain suppressants, and things like that.
Heroin is OxyContin. OxyContin is medicinal heroin.
Right. Exactly. But then marijuana still also has similar properties. I don't know. I'm not going to be that guy. I like marijuana, or the times that I've done it before, I enjoyed it because of the euphoric effects, not necessarily medicinal property.
He said the times I've done it before. He's only done it a handful of times.
Well, this is tobacco, and this is more symbolic. This is more symbolic.
I mean, we're all 420 friendly here. I mean, there's no shame in that.
Okay.
Hey, he's smoking hemp. He's smoking hemp, man. You know what I'm saying? Smoking some hemp.
Hey, I remember back at UC, I'm not gonna mention any names, but
man,
a guy brought in a
beat up in his stories, man.
I got 1,000 of them, but a guy brought a bag of legal weed. It's called legal weed. I'm like, man, I can't smoke that. It wasn't. First of all, it was brown. It wasn't even green.
I'm just glad that this story didn't involve him. Blast said, or Blast did.
Cause man, you have this squeaky clean image, man. I'm like, man, this guy's a demon, man.
I'm a demon,
man. Yeah, man.
Hey. He be on demon time sometime, man.
See the way this guy does me, E?
I see.
What he does is Blast will set you up for the woo. He throws you the alley-oop, sits back, and then laughs at you.
Right. And it might tell you to catch it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you need to be entertained somehow, Oscar.
See?
So I do think Ohio is stupid for allowing. I mean, I love my state and everything. But Ohio's stupid for allowing all this money to leave the state. People go from travel from far and wide. One time, somebody told me that they went to a dispensary in Michigan, and they met. Okay, so one time I went to a dispensary in Michigan, and I met this dude.
So you're the person.
Somebody is me. So one time I went to this dispensary.
Me. I am me.
For research, I had to do some research because I knew I was going to be on here on 420. So for research purposes, I went up there, and this dude was like one of the people. It was two people in line waiting with me, and the young lady was from Cleveland, and the other guy was from the west side of Cincinnati. So these people, the person from Cleveland drove about 2.5 hours. The person from Cincinnati drove about 3 hours and 16 minutes. And
yeah, he knows that drive well.
Oh man,
just to get just to get some dispensary herb, and it's like, why can't we? What's the detriment? People who want to smoke weed are going to smoke weed. Anybody who's reasonable and who lives in reality knows that. Anybody who wants to smoke weed, gonna smoke some weed, and they're gonna find it. And they're gonna buy it from a dude. You know what I mean? Why not make some tax money off of it? Why
I
not?
think it's
Why
not
that
just
money
weed,
come out the
Oscar,
door?
man. I think we last in everything. Like, so many states have legalized gambling before us.
Mm-hmm.
We was late on the casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, man, get that money.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the prohibition doesn't do anything but give them, because one would think that revenue will come before anything else. But no, the ability to lock up a black dude and the ability to add something to a minority's rap sheet or record, I think that surpasses the need for revenue.
Yeah.
It has to. I read a statistic that said in the early 21st century, African Americans were nearly 4 times more likely than whites to be arrested on marijuana-related charges, despite the fact that both groups use use marijuana at similar rates.
Or rates.
Yeah.
So I mean, that gives them an opportunity, because it's like, you think about it, marijuana is used similarly to alcohol, almost as common, almost. It's not like a crazy party drug like cocaine, you know what I mean? It's not a crazy, drug like, a pill or anything like that. I don't know anything about drugs. I've never done a drug before. But I mean, I've smelled weed before, but I've never done any other real drug. So I don't understand because if you don't want to do something, like if I don't want to drink, I'm not a big vodka drinker or a gin drinker or, champagne drinker or whatever. So I don't drink it. You know what I mean? If you don't like weed, you don't buy it. If you don't like strip clubs, you don't go. If you don't like, you know what I mean? It's like adults can make their own choices,
True.
If I wanted to, I could find hard drugs, but I don't want that. So I don't understand. I don't understand the reason for the marijuana prohibition.
I think the trend now is going from, actual marijuana to the edibles now, to the gummies and to the CBD
The
oil.
exotic. It's the exotic way to get high now, man. Like,
and it's clean. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot stronger and more concentrated, but it's a lot cleaner because you don't have to worry about your fingers stinking, your clothes stinking, and it's a lot more inconspicuous.
Some guy told me at work, he said the weed back in the 70s was stronger than it is now. That's what he told me.
I don't think so, man.
I'm like, dude, have you seen the weed now?
Yeah,
and then they have the ability now to like measure the statistics, measure the details. Like this here is 24.2%. Well, let me show you this one. This here is 32.4%.
From the guy who doesn't smoke, right?
Yeah, I borrowed all this. This is because I know it's going to be on here.
That's a prop. That's a prop.
Research.
Yeah, it's research. I'm prepared.
Yeah, this is a prop. This is a prop. If anyway, this is not real.
Yeah,
not real.
So, how on the movies, they be having on the movies. That's what I got here.
You got movie weed.
Yeah.
He got prop bud.
Prop Joe.
like Alec Baldwin's gun.
Man.
Yeah, man.
The views of Oscar Shebway are not those of
Hey, man.
That wasn't a prop. This is as much of a prop as that
Condolences
is.
and prayers out to that man's family.
Sure.
You're the new Sanchez for the day, man.
Yeah, you
I don't
filled
think-
in
I don't-
admirably for Doug, man.
Yeah, I don't think he could have did him and Doug on the same episode, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, y'all,
Him and Doug would have been so fired up about the racism discussion, man.
it's ridiculous, man. If who was it? Baldwin said that to be black in America is to be in a constant state of rage or something like that. Or to be black and aware in America, something like that. But that's real. Like if you research and look at all the things that we have to fight against, all the things that we have to go through in the country in order to be just regular and equal, it's ridiculous. If you look at all the ways, I mean, really, it's kind of genius how they've kept us down. But if you think of all the ways that they've tried to keep us down, from redlining and school segregation and certain schools in the hood not getting the same money as the schools in the more affluent areas or suburban areas. If you think about all the things you have to overcome, man, it's like, why do they put so much effort and time into it? It's really disgusting, and it really makes you mad. It really makes you, it will really create a constant state of rage if you allow it to.
Yeah, but after all that, black folks really don't even want revenge. We just want to be equal.
No, we just want to be equal. We just want to be equal. You know what I'm saying? We just want to be equal. You think about like all the ways that they prevented us from getting real estate, which is how you build generational wealth. You know, they prevent us from getting loans, things like that. Look how behind we are. Most white people have generations, grandparents with houses and parents with houses, and then they get, you know what I mean? They already have that head start, and then they they ridicule us and tell us to put ourselves up by the bootstraps.
True.
I'm reading a book on redlining.
Oh man, I just learned about that like within the last. I mean, I had heard the term before, but I just learned about what it actually is within the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm almost ashamed to say that.
So have you fired up that research yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right.
Hey, Oscar, man, we want to give you an opportunity to, promote your business. Shout out your social media.
That was a great fire up on camera. That was a hell of a
shout out
fire.
to social. Huh? I was gonna say shout out to social media for the food truck. You know what I'm saying? People want to follow you and see what events they can catch up with you at and whatnot.
Okay. My social media, me personally, mine is Well Made Ace on Instagram. Oscar Nicholson on Facebook. On the KC&J Hawaiian Shave Ice. That's our name on Facebook. Our website is going to be www.kcandjshavingice.com when it's ready and available. And our Instagram is KC&J Hawaiian Shave Ice.
There it is.
That's what's happening. Once again, man. Shout out to research.
Real quick before I go, before we end this, I'm also gonna have a podcast. I don't know how much time we got, but I have a cousin that's incarcerated. For my first cousin.
I told y'all about that.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about having him call in or like call because we talk almost every day. He actually did call at like 8:00. But I sent him a voicemail. But because we were recording, But
live.
I wanted to, but I didn't clear that first, and I didn't, we were talking and everything.
That's cool.
I should have cleared it first, but and I could always come back. You can always have me back if you don't mind. But,
we can do that.
He's been in jail since July 30th of 2004. He's getting out on July 10th, 2022.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have a podcast called Life After 18. He did 18 years. We're going to call it Life After 18. And he got sentenced to 20 years on his 29th birthday. December 1st, 2004, he got sentenced to 20 years in jail. What did he do? He shot his baby mama. It was a long story, she was cheating and crime of passion, no excuse. He wanted to do a murder suicide, but he came to his senses when the bullet hit her wrist. She didn't pass away. She was, it was like grazed, but yeah, that happened. He got caught by the police, put in jail. He's a regular guy, just a regular dude, just like me. It'd be like me going to jail. You know what I mean? It'd be, and he's been in there for 18 years. Thank God he's been good. He's been in 3 different places. He started out in Mansfield, then went to North Central. Now he's in Grafton because he's getting out soon. That's what they send you when you're about to get out. So he is very aware of everything politically. Watch TV a lot. So we talk about politics, sports, women. A lot about women because every woman he sees, it's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? So every woman he's way more attractive than I am. You know what I mean? He my 5 is his 7. You feel me? So or 8. So but yeah, our podcast is going to focus on current events. I want him to talk every time about some aspect of his experience, in incarceration and in prison. Things that people don't normally know, or don't normally talk about, or normally, tell. Not really too much stuff. He said that's not it. Because if I went to jail, that would be my first thing I'm thinking, like, how can I? You know what I'm saying? But
again,
he said,
perceived ways, views are not the views.
Who doesn't think about that?
I told you, oh, it's hilarious, dog.
Who doesn't think about that?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
do we have anybody in control of time? Beat up, write this timestamp down, man.
Hey, oh, you told me this. You told me about this at the date. I mean, at the midday mingle.
Yeah.
You should have definitely told me that. We could have definitely had him on here, man.
I'm not gonna tell him you said that.
Man,
I talked to him twice a day, and he called me at 8 o'clock. I told him, I said, call me at 8 o'clock. I tell you know, depending on where we're at in the conversation, I actually have you on there.
I'm like, man, next week I don't think we have
You'll
nobody.
be-
I would love to hear that conversation. Just
You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at just how normal, you know, and not that it's easy because it's not by any means, but and also he's in a very low, he's in a minimum security place because he's on his way out, and he's never been in a hole, never been in trouble. He told me, he said, you know, my time has been very, I've been blessed to have my time has been easy, relatively speaking. You know what I mean? It is time, and you have no freedom. You can't do anything, and you know it's disgusting in there, and terrible food, and dangerous, and violent, and all of that. No privacy. You know, all of the strip searching and bending over and coughing, spreading your cheeks. All that's real. But you know, and he said there's enough in there where you don't have to worry about that. So I was like, okay.
And we're trying to stay off of that, man. We're trying to stay off.
No disrespect, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that.
Don't worry. This will never make it to the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, we really good with the edits. So.
Okay.
man, that'd be good.
But so he, we talk about sports, we talk about current events, we talk about, and he has a lot to say. You know, he tells me about a lot of stuff, and some of the stories he tells me is like, oh my gosh, some of the stories that he tells me about people who he's around. He's in a dorm situation, in a dorm setting, so it's not a cell. So it's like just based on how he described it, like rows of bunk beds, and you have your own space, I would imagine, because he has a TV in there. So he has, he said he has like an old school box TV, but he has a TV in there. So I would imagine you have your own space for your things, whatever that entails. But he tells about people who like his bunkie, the person in his I don't know if he's at the top or the bottom, but he's talking about how his bunkie doesn't bathe, doesn't brush his teeth because he's depressed, stuff like that, like for weeks at a time. Like, what? You know what I mean? You ever gone a day without a shower?
Yeah, that makes me depressed.
Like your feet, imagine that week, so
we would love to have y'all on here one day when he gets out, man. Talk about a story too, just about how he is getting reintroduced back into society. That's a good story right there. Yeah,
and one thing I also want to talk about with him is topics that are coming out now, like topics that hot topics now. I want to talk to him about them to see what his perspective is of this, of this particular topic. What does he think about? Oh, matter of fact, I would say, what does he think about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock? And that made me think of when that happened. He called me, and he's like, "Hey, man, I think Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock. Was that real? Are you watching the Oscars?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not." I was watching bits and pieces, whatever, because I watched Beyonce or whatever. So maybe it sounds like, but no, I didn't see it. So I went on, immediately. If something like that, something salacious like that happens, I gotta jump to social media because social media caught it. So I jumped on there and I started seeing it. I started seeing it real time. Like, oh, because I didn't see it live, but I started seeing it real time. And everybody's asking the same question, like, did he just slap Chris Rock? Was that real? So we talked about that. And he's telling me about how much of an ugly feeling it gave him. He felt terrible inside. This is a manager, But anyway, so we talk about everything. We talk about everything. If it's on TV, he sees it.
Definitely got an open invitation, man.
Yeah. So I fun with the bag. I fun with the ball on that one. Damn, man. Damn. I dropped the ball. My bad.
Always next
I dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But I can, whenever we talk, because I send him emails and pictures and stuff too. I send him pictures of like Instagram chicks. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
he needs that. But so I can always reach out to him. We'd always set it up and make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, we definitely gonna set that up because this we gotta start talking about it right now. It's
gonna have to be some rules in place, man. Because if he's anything like you, Oscar, we're gonna have to.
Oh yeah, he works for me. No, but
well.
But you know what though? He's like I say, he's very intelligent. He has the best memory of any person I've ever known. I mean, his memory is impeccable. Like I say, very aware of current events. Just made a mistake. Crime of passion, made a mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but he's a regular dude. You wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you that he was in there, you wouldn't know it based on this conversation.
Yeah, I see.
Way to fumble the bag, though, man. Damn.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Once again, bro, we want to thank you for, coming and chopping it up with us. Wishing you much success in the food trucks this season.
Thank you.
Once
Thank you.
again,
Appreciate it.
KC&J, if you see them in the streets of Dayton and as well as Cleveland, right?
Yes, Cleveland. Yep.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, my uncle is John Sizemore, KC&J Hawaiian Shave Ice, and down in Dayton, my name's Oscar. My brother is Chris James, and that's my business partner. And KC&J Shave Ice too.
That's what's happening. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in, checking out Hops and Socks. You know what I'm saying? This is episode 37. Signing off. We out.
Happy 420.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Damn, oh.
Shell of a man if we ever depart. From my heart to I'm riding with you.
I'm riding with you.